All right. Hey, everybody. Dan Fitzpatrick here at stockmarketmentor.com. Let's just jump right into it. Palantir. I put a trade on the other day. We're down a little bit on that. You can see 134.25 on this breakout, and then it's pulled back. A lot of stocks, we're seeing that, even though the market's kind of rising, which we like. I always like it when it's doing this. There's a lot of breakouts that are kind of turning out to be, I wouldn't say fake outs per se. I would just say like, they're not really doing too well. And so right now, Palantir is one of those, certainly. But I want to show you what I'm seeing here. I can draw this. Why don't I just do it this way? What I'm seeing here is a pretty steep. You could look at this and say it's a cup. I'm not that dogmatic about cup and handles. I just see a big decline here, and then kind of a wide-ranging range here that essentially forms a base. And then now we get a move to the upside. And so once this stock comes up here and then pulls back, this is kind of established. Pardon I'm having a hard time speaking, I guess. This is kind of an established resistance level here, right about this same level. And so then we get a pullback. Okay, we see big heavy volume here, and then that turns out to be a washout. What I'm doing is kind of walking you through a pretty sloppy head and shoulder pattern. It would be nice if not the head and shoulder pattern, I'm sorry, the cup and handle. It would be nice if the handle was more like this. In other words, if it was kind of pulling down a little bit, maybe closer to the 50-day moving average, because then this is really kind of like a coiled spring. You just see this all the time, where a little breakout from a lower area, boom, you're going to get that kind of move. That's the kind of thing. That I like to see. We just don't. I'm just not seeing it here. So we take what the stock gives us. So this is what my suggestion would be right now. Like I've got this suggested stop here at 122.60. I'll go ahead and show you where that is. Okay. So the stop's 122.60, and that's not it's not a big gap, In other words, we're not risking a boatload of money here to make this trade less than 10%, but you got to give it a little room to move. That's just the way this works. My suggestion would be, I mean, we have this trade on, and it's I won't say it's working because it's not. It's down just a little bit. And I don't like it when trades come out of the chutes and don't perform the way I want them to. But it's not so bad that I say, okay, well, this trade didn't work. What I'm saying is this probably needs a little more time here. And also, look, this has been a monster stock, and nobody can argue credibly that this is not different than this or anything else. In other words, if you're looking at Wyckoff's approach with, it's not just Wyckoff, it's any good trader where you've got a base, you've got a markup, you've got distribution, and then you've got a mark down. This is a pretty wild swing in area here. This does definitely look like distribution to me. Now, there's more to distribution than distribution. You could have distribution within an uptrend and then have the stock continue to move higher or not. I'm just pointing that out because simply the fact that this is, to me, obvious distribution. Look at the volume. Volume has definitely picked up here versus where it was, like on the way up, it's lower. So volume is picked up, volatility is picked up. This is a lot of gnashing of the teeth and jumping up and down in the stock price. So you got to be careful here. But If the stock breaks out, the stock breaks out, and that's your trade. If it doesn't, don't sit here and be stubborn and insist that, by God, that trade's going to work out for me. It better. Sooner or later, I know it's going to go. No, you got to keep your money moving. But for now, I'm sticking with this trade. If the stock breaks out to a new high, that's the signal that the trade is going to be okay. If it stays down here, if it just kind of hovers around here, we'll say through the end of the week, I'm going to kind of be looking at it a little more carefully on Monday, and maybe we're going to have to kick this thing to the curb. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I will see you next time.